What's up, my people? It's Victor Isibo Reviews once again. If you're a first timer, consider subscribing by hitting the red subscribe button below this video. And if you're a returnee, thank you for coming back. Thank you for your support. Okay, I was reading a book, You Can Negotiate Anything, by Herb Cohen, and one part of that book really struck me really hard. You know, he walked into a Mexican hotel, and he was told by the manager that all the rooms were booked out, that there were no extra rooms. And Mr. Cohen said, he asked the manager, if the president of Mexico were to come here, would you have a room for him? The manager said, yes, I would, but he's not coming. Then Herb Cohen said, well, since he's not coming, I'm taking his room. Eventually, he got that room. Okay, see, and we negotiate every time in life. The skill of negotiation is very, very important. Even much more important than your technical know-how. It's much more even important than any university degree. Okay? Because someone with good negotiation skills might even get that job, and you who have a better know-how about the job but with poor negotiation skills, you might get rejected. Okay, now we negotiate every day of our lives. Every day of our lives we are negotiating. Even in traffic, you want to get to the other lane, you may have to wind down and negotiate with the driver on the other side, for him to wait. Madam, please just wait so I could get in. Thank you. Every little thing in life has some level of negotiation. Negotiation is life. You're watching this video today because you're alive. How come you're alive? It's because your dad met your mom, and your dad had to do some negotiation with your mom, and they reached an agreement. That's how come you exist. Okay, so now negotiation is everything. We negotiate every day, every time. Okay, negotiation is necessary before you can sign a contract. Negotiation is important because an interview, a job interview, is more or less like a negotiation, and you should be able to sell yourself and convince the employer to get you on board. So we negotiate you negotiate with your kids, where they want to go for the holidays, how they spend their weekends, the kind of toys you're going to get them. We negotiate these things. So the moment you're able to sharpen your negotiation skills, you're going to be able to get almost anything out of life. I used to have a friend back in the university days, Martins. Martins got just about anything he wanted because he had good negotiation skills. I remember we were on a queue, a very long queue. We had about 50-something people right in front of us back then in school. We wanted to make a payment to obtain a registration form. And the intensity of the sun was so much. Martins told me, I am getting this form right now. I can't stand on this queue. I can't take it. The very first person on the queue was a girl. Martins went to the front to speak with this girl. I saw him gesturing. He was just gesturing. Then after a while, he got in front of the girl, paid for the form, and came back to me. He was like, here is the form. What did you tell her? He said, well, I just spoke with her. I just convinced her. And back then, we used to think Martins had some kind of charm, But you see, it's just mere negotiation skills. So now, very quickly, we want to analyze some of the things that are very important for you to carry out adequate negotiation. So first of all, you need information. Information. Before you start negotiating, you need to make your findings and have adequate information. You have to be armed with adequate information. For instance, if I need you to give me $10,000, I'll stand a better chance of getting that $10,000 from you if I am well informed that you won $1 million last week from a lottery. Makes sense, right? If I know that you have $1 million in your bank account and you have no immediate plans for, I would be able to, approach you for a $10,000 loan with a high success rate. I'm very much likely to get that loan from you because you have the money and you do not have immediate use for the money. I'm not even asking for all of the money. I'm asking for just 10,000 inside the $1 million that you won recently. Okay, and I'm going to apply the 13th law in the 48 laws of power that says you should appeal to people's self-interest and not mercy. Okay, so I'm going to tell you that give me $10,000. In the next 6 months, I'm going to pay back $12,000, $11,000. Now you have the money, you do not have any use for it, and I'm paying you back in interest, so you will be interested, to give me the money. Okay, so now when you walk into a shopping mall, and you want to buy a piece of electronics, okay, do not give the salesperson the impression, or do not allow them to observe that you love the product. Because if you allow them to observe that you love the product, you have given them the edge in the negotiation. You see the product, you're like, wow, this is awesome, this is this, this is that. You will not be able to negotiate for a discount. You're going to buy that product even higher than what it should be sold for, because you have given your co-negotiator the edge in the negotiation. Another tip is that make it difficult for your co-negotiator to say no. I remember back then when I was younger, I used to dread going to the market with my mom. Damn. Okay, now, for instance, my mom would walk into a boutique and she would ask, how much is this handbag? And they're going to be like, this handbag is, for instance, $500. And my mom is going to be like, $500? Bring out all the handbags that you have in this shopping mall. Then the lady or the salesperson will bring out all the handbags, and she would take her time to inspect each one. Whilst we were there, other buyers would walk in, make their purchases, and go away. We're still there. My mom is checking each handbag. Open the zip, carry it, hang it. Bring that blue one. Okay. Is it Louis Vuitton? It's not Louis Vuitton. Take it back. Bring that other one. 3 hours, we're there. Then eventually my mom would ask, how much does these bags go for? They will tell her $500. And my mom would be like, okay, would you accept $50? In my mind, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this salesperson is going to get us arrested. After 3 whole hours, my mom is pricing $50 for a $500 handbag. And I'm going to be like, this is ridiculous. Do you know that 7 out of 10 times, my mom would get that handbag for, say, $200. A handbag that in our presence, people had walked in and bought for $500, $450. We would get the best price for that handbag. Why? Because we made it difficult for the salesperson to say no. Can you imagine the amount of time and energy the salesperson has put into attending to us? He doesn't want us to go away just like that. Okay, so when you're using that trick against the salesperson, there's this trick that a salesperson can use as well. Watch this scenario. You walk into a mall and you're negotiating over a product, maybe a refrigerator. As you're negotiating over the refrigerator, you went with your wife. You're negotiating over the refrigerator, and the salesperson observed that you're driving a hard bargain. You're giving him a hard time. He might just switch over to your wife. Now he's no longer talking to you. Madam, this refrigerator is very good. Your wife might have shown him signs that she likes the refrigerator. Maybe she's gesturing to you that the price is okay. And the salesperson has observed, he will now face your wife. Madam, then your wife would be agreeing to every word that the salesperson utters. This refrigerator is the best in the market. Your wife will be like, yes, I can see. He will now hold your wife by the hand. Madam, come and check. Check how spacious it is inside. Now you can put your groceries here. You can put your kids' ice cream here. Yes, my children love ice cream. Yes, madam. You put the ice cream here. Your husband drinks beer. Yeah, he loves beer. Put the beer here. This is the highest area of freezing concentration. You put it here. Then at the end of the day, the three of you are there. You, your wife, and salesperson. Now, salespeople have become two. Your wife has joined the salesperson, and they are both marketing the products to you. Then this salesperson can now even work on your emotions and tell you, see, you're a gentleman. You know, do what your wife says. You know, it's your wife. She's the one that stays at home most of the time while you're away working. She takes care of the kitchen. She's going to be the one using this fridge the most. Why don't you listen to your wife? That way, you are at the weaker side of the negotiation. You may just budge. Or if your children obviously love the toys and they're telling you, daddy, buy the toy, daddy, buy. You don't even have time to negotiate. You're like, okay, just let me have the toys at the end of the day. Okay, so you see that these are some negotiating skills that you can acquire. Then when you go into a shopping mall to buy something, do not give the impression that you have not been elsewhere. Give the impression that you've been elsewhere. Give the impression that you can even walk across the road and just get the product there. Okay, it doesn't have to be at that particular place. You know, you can always get your products anywhere it pleases you. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about emotions. There is an emotional way of negotiating that works. Okay, let's assume that you are at an interviewing panel. You're a member of an interviewing panel, and a young man walks in, and you ask, so why should we employ you? And the young man goes, well, as an orphan who lost both parents at the tender age of 5, started doing manual labor, working and trying to see myself through school. Now I've managed to see myself through school. It shows that I am mentally strong, I'm physically strong to handle the pressures of work. That young man has appealed to the emotions of everybody in that panel. Damn, this guy lost both parents at the age of 5. This is really touching. Now he's seen himself through school. The least we can do is help him get a job, at least to justify all the years of suffering and horror. He has appealed to your emotion. Or a woman comes in and she wants a job. So why should I hire you? And the woman is like, oh, as a widow who recently lost her husband with 5 children to take care of, I think I should. That woman has appealed to your emotions. There are some people that even break down, get so emotional during interviews, and they even start crying, and just to get the mercy of the interviewing panel. Okay, so emotions can also be used, you know, as a negotiating tool. And it works for people if they can appeal to your emotions, because sometimes you may be going through what they're going through as well, and you now have a soft spot for them. Another very good negotiating tool is to be nice, be sociable, be nice, smile often, and you know, appeal to people, be amiable, let people find you to be amiable, to be sociable, to be friendly. You know, that is a good negotiation tool, because people would easily bend, you know, to whatever you want if they like you. It's only natural. That's how come you find that pretty girls who are sociable, pretty girls who have a good sense of humor, they have their ways around men. Yes, it doesn't actually mean that the men would end up dating them or something. You know, they're just likable, you know, because probably they smile, probably they look good, you know. So now how friendly you are, your demeanor, you know, can, you know, make negotiations fall in your favor. And also during negotiations, you may not get the exact thing that you want, but you can get something close to it. Now you want A, your co-negotiator wants C, You know, B is not bad for either of you. B is also a very good outcome. Then you both can shift grounds a little and meet at point B and seal the deal. You know, so it's a win-win situation for both of you. So there's so many points highlighted, you know, that can, you know, make you to negotiate very well. And even when you talk about one price shops, you know, in one price shops, the salesperson wants you to believe that the prices of their commodities are non-negotiable. They put it in a tag, $50. Now, they're using power as a negotiation tool. That product might be worth just $15. They could sell that product for $20 and still make a profit. But now they have $50 on the price tag. And when you walk in there and you're like, oh, this product, the salesperson will be like, any problem? Say, oh, you say it's $50. Yeah, it's written there boldly. Then you just keep quiet because you know, oh, it's $50. It's written there. There's an authority that has put it there. It cannot change. You assume, then you pay $50. But the truth of the matter is, if you're able to meet somebody in a position that can make concession, in a position of authority, you know, you may get that product for less than $50 if you're speaking to the right person who is in a position to make concessions. Now, information, like I said earlier, you need to be negotiating with the right person. You don't walk into a company to negotiate for contracts and you're speaking with the security man, or you're speaking with the cleaners there, or you're speaking with people that are irrelevant and do not have people that are way down in the organogram of the company, in the hierarchy of the company, people that are way down there. You're negotiating with them, you're wasting your time because you cannot get anything out of it because they do not have the power to make concessions. So if you're speaking with managers, you're speaking with directors, you stand a better chance of getting what you want. Okay, so I will recommend you go read the book by Herb Cohen titled You Can Negotiate Anything. You know, I love reading books and I encourage my subscribers to read books as well. If you read this book, you're going to be able to get tips on how to sharpen your negotiation skills. If you can negotiate very well, you get just about anything you want from life. Okay? You can even negotiate somebody into giving them your kidney. I've read a story like that. Someone gave out his kidney to save a life just because of negotiation. It could be emotional, it could be strategic, it could be tactical. Negotiation is negotiation, and you can get just about anything you want from just about anybody, just at just about any time. Of course, when we talk about deadlines too, you know, maybe you traveled, maybe someone wants to have a business meeting with you and they traveled several kilometers to be with you and they have 3 days to spend. You may not start negotiation with them immediately on day one because you know they have a lot of time. They want to drive a hard bargain. So day one, you show them around your city, take them nice places. Day two, you know, you kind of distract them. The person's like, let's get down to negotiation. You're like, no, relax, just enjoy yourself. Then 2 hours before the person's flight back to their location on the third day, you're negotiating with them. That person is already under pressure. He has a flight to catch. At that point in time, he is not well coordinated to drive a good bargain. So you may be able to get a good deal from that person. Have all the documents signed in a hurry so that he can catch his flight. Now, he doesn't want to go back to where he came from without reaching an agreement with you. It would seem like a total waste of time. So if you are on the other side, try to see if your deadline can be shifted. Don't say because of a deadline you're going to sign a contract that does not appeal to you. Okay, now let me read your comments in the comment section below about some of the points we highlighted. Share this video with whoever you feel needs to see it. Like and, you know, comment, give a thumbs up. Till I see you again, I remain Victor Esibo. Bye for now.